Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's 11:48 Central Time. Interesting stuff going on in the digital asset space. Gary Gensler, hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friend, is just, I don't know, losing it, bringing lawsuits against Kim Kardashian under the guise of investor protection is laughable. John Deaton is all over Twitter this morning calling out hashtag Gary Gensler in all kind of ways. We're going to share that with you as well. Interesting stuff coming from the guy who helped put together the former attorney, Coy Garrison, who helped William Hinman put together, if you will, the concept behind the ETH free pass. We're going to cover that. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. That is really, really, really interesting. Squawk Box NBC tried to, try to get Gary Gensler to, answer some stuff. And of course, he did his usual BSing. So we'll get into that as well. So listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple Daily News. And around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's refresh the total cryptocurrency market cap. Let's go over the numbers because, the market is doing what the freaking market does. Last I checked, the total cryptocurrency market cap was 978 billion. That was early wee hours in the morning. Okay, so it's 975 billion. 975 billion. The Bitcoin dominance is at 38.1%, which is just not a great number if you're looking for an altcoin season. Bitcoin is trading at $19,383. Again, Ethereum is trading at $1,318. Again, and XRP is trading at 45 cents. Interesting stuff. The market is doing what the market does. No double figures. Well, I don't even know what this Terra Luna Classic is doing. Laura Shin reported that Terra Luna was trying to come back. I don't know how old that. I guess that was in May, that video was. But that I'm going to share with you guys. Tokenized exchange, don't know what that is. Interesting stuff. Helium's up 10% on the 7-day. My understanding is Helium in the overall market network is in trouble there, but I can't officially say. It was good to see RSR on the comeback. RSR is less than a penny again. It's up 21% on the 7-day. We were really blessed to be really early with RSR. They got some work to do. See if they can continue to go. It's it's grabbing market share in the stablecoin space is going to be very challenging, I think. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I want to cover this first. I tweeted out here. This is Laura Shin introducing Coy Garrison, who left the SEC. He's partnered with the company, a law firm called Steptoe. Interesting guy. He talks about the Ethereum free speech in this interview. Larson did a good job of answering asking some really good questions. This video is up on her YouTube channel, Unchained. If you want to watch the full 36 minutes of that video, shout out to Unchained for sharing this with all of us. So it's really interesting to hear him talk about. She kind of question, how did they get to the Ethereum free pass? Now, of course, she didn't use Ethereum free pass. She said, how did they get to the point where they qualified Ethereum as being sufficiently decentralized? And I said here, listen very carefully to the rationale of Bill Hinman's former counsel at the SEC in regards to the ETH free pass. Take a listen to this. Make sure this is from the beginning.
And that has actually been called into question under Chair Gensler. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about kind of what the thinking was that went into that speech, saying that ETH was decentralized, and whether or not you think any factors have changed to call into question now whether or not it truly is decentralized.
Sure. Yeah. So, I think it's very important to remember the securities law analysis under Howey, and everybody knows Howey now and the Howey test. I won't go into details. It's incredibly flexible and incredibly fact sensitive, right? And so the Bill Hinman Ether speech was an attempt at acknowledging that the facts do change as the product evolves, right? As something is, when it is sold, a certain set of promises might attach to an asset when it is sold and might make it a security. But over time, those promises might fall away and it might become a non-security and just a different asset. That acknowledgement, I think, is still very valid and still very real. I think it's a ongoing analysis that, people can raise questions all the time. That's part of the deal. But at the end of the day, that core concept, I think, is very alive and accurate, that the security label shouldn't have to follow an asset at all times. If there are no promises surrounding the asset, then it's curious to me how something could be in an investment contract.
If there's no promises around the asset, it's curious to me how something can be an investment contract, right? So John Deaton is calling him on this one, right? Because first of all, it's obvious he's trying to, the rationale and trying to how they got to this point is very, very obvious. In the end, the truth is going to come out. But I think Jeremy, not Jeremy, but John Deaton is really getting to the heart of it, because Jeremy Hogan said, he quoted Coy Garrison, right? Coy Garrison, he says, if there are no promises surrounding an asset, I'm curious how it can be an investment contract. That's Hinman's SEC counsel, which also happens to be Ripple's first argument for summary judgment, post-sale obligations argument, right? And John Deaton, I think, just hits it out of the ballpark on this one. The question, Jeremy, is did he make that same comment in the Hinman emails? And did he or someone else in the email chain say, hey, no promises to surround XRP, why not include it also with Ethereum? And the ultimate bottom line is that Bill Hinman and the law firms that he worked with, whether it be Sullivan and Cromwell or whoever, they bet on Bitcoin and they recognized 10,000% that they did to the asset XRP was the number one blockchain, number one asset and blockchain. The XRP ledger was the number one competitor. Number one. And they knew it. They 10,000% knew it. And they called on William Hinman to give them some time to try to put a squash to it, try to defame Ripple in any way that they possibly can. So Squawk Boss put this out from hashtag Gary Guns Just Not Your Friend. And I tweeted out shame. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, breaking, the SEC is charging Kim Kardashian for a post on her Instagram last year, that endorsed a crypto asset sold by Ethereum Max without disclosing how much she was paid to promote it. SEC charges Kim Kardashian for unartfully touting crypto assets. You're going to want to listen to what Gary, what John Deaton has to say about this.
To be with you. Look, Congress passed a law.
Help us understand why you brought this case and why you settled it.
Thank you, Andrew. It's good to be with you. Look, Congress passed a law many decades ago called the Securities Act, and it was to protect the public. And part of that law said that if you tout a stock, you need to disclose not only that you're getting paid, but also the amount, so the source and the nature of those payments. And so this was to protect the public when folks, and this law was passed in the 1930s. We've brought these types of cases over the decades, but even in the last 5 years with regard to crypto, it's really important that the public understand if somebody is touting a crypto security token, that are they getting paid and how much are they getting paid? And we brought a case a number of years ago, I think four years ago, against Floyd Mayweather, against DJ Khalid, Steve Seagal, an actor, and others over the years. So this is unfortunately, it's another time that we brought a case.
Oh, doesn't your head hurt sometimes just listening to that dude? Right here, John Dean is calling Gary Gensler out again because the United States Securities Exchange put this out today. We now set charges against Kim Kardashian for promoting a crypto security powered by Ethereum without disclosing the payment she received for the promotion. John Deaton calls him out on it. Gary Gensler claims the law requires them to disclose to the public when and how much they are paid to promote investing in securities. I'm sure there are podcasters, YouTubers, and influencers alarmed by that quote. Notice how Gary Gensler labels them crypto securities. This is part of controlling the narrative. They no longer say digital asset security like they did in the Ripple and Library cases. Gensler only says crypto securities. It's all about the narrative. I want to go to John Deaton's page here real quick. We'll see something. Because he smells the BS here for sure. Oh, what is this? I want to give it a little announcement here for John. I will be joining Dr. Martin Heesboik and Spendabits on a webinar next Wednesday, October the 5th at 10. Next Wednesday. Or yeah, in a couple of days, October 5th at 10 o'clock Eastern time. To watch the event live, register here. Let me get that. Right here. But he said something I think is very, very important. I saw it early in a tweet and I thought I had it, but I don't think. Correct. All right. There it is. Create, control, and perpetuate a narrative. Gary Gensler is playing a zero-sum game. If anyone actually read the complaint against RippleXRP, they would have noticed the SEC was attacking the token itself. The equivalent of saying the origin of Howies were the securities. It is difficult to be critical of the SEC adoption account because it was a rug pull, no doubt. And why the hell would she do it for $250K? But as usual, Gensler conflates the issue, creating confusion. In fact, some sponsors will ask you to sign an NDA or confidentiality agreement on your deal. They don't want someone demanding the same deal that someone else has. And that is the issue. But Gary Gensler conflates the issues, creating confusion. That is the deal. And unfortunately, the actors and the Hollywood promoters, they just want it to go away. They're not going to get to the nitty gritty of it. They're just not, which is amazing to me. That they don't, kind of take the fight. But, they're busy doing other stuff and they're not willing to take the fight to the SEC like Ripple or the SEC or Elon Musk, right? And so maybe they don't have as much money as they say to fight it, and they think it's just easier to make it go away, paying $1 million fine. But in that fine agreement, it'll be a little disclosures about how it was a security token now, or a security. Kim Kardashian isn't saying that she agrees to that, but the SEC can kind of put that in the footnotes, and that is the problem, guys. So just wanted to make sure you guys got that. I want to leave you with this video here because I think it's hugely important. Because this is Brent Johnson, Blockworks, did an interview with this guy. Take a listen to this. I'm going to end the video with this.
Well, ultimately, what I think is going to happen is that this currency crisis that I've spoken about will cause some kind of an event where the system gets reset. Now, whether they write off sovereign debt in that environment, or whether they come up with a new currency system like a new Bretton Woods, I really don't know. I think something's going to be forced on the governments of the world. What I think will come next is some sort of government-sponsored stablecoin, whether it's FedCoin or what do they call it, the Coin Now or something. I know they announced it a month ago. I don't remember the exact name, but I think the genie's kind of out of the bottle with the stable coins and with the Bitcoin and the rise of crypto. I think that the governments of the world are going to adopt what was created in the private market and use it. I don't think we're going to go to a Bitcoin standard. I don't think Bitcoin's going to become money. I think governments are going to kind of co-opt that digital.
Take a listen to this again. Listen to what he says here.
System gets reset. Now, whether they write off sovereign debt in that environment, or whether they come up with a new currency system like a new Bretton Woods.
The system gets a reset. I said I was going to end the video, but I think it's important to take a listen here to Rosie Williams. Very, very, very interesting stuff. There's a reason why the amazing Rosie Williams, do I have that? Here it is here. There's some work here. Yeah, this is her name is on United States fiat dollar currencies. Real reason. Take a listen to this. Shout out to Stephen the Bull Dia for sharing this. We appreciate you, bro. Take a listen to what she says here.
So, it was the right choice, Ripple. I had a lot of options, but I chose them because they have a functional role. So they facilitate cross-border payments. It's one of their functions with XRP. So it's not just some floating asset out there. They actually have a purpose, right? And so it was the right choice for me. Someone else might have some.
So I'm in the
choice.
XRP army.
Okay.
Interesting point. She had a lot of choices as she went to Ripple. Let's take a listen to this one more time.
I chose Ripple. I had a lot of options, but I chose them because they have a functional role. So they facilitate cross-border payments. It's one of their functions with XRP. So it's not just some floating asset out there. They actually have a purpose, right?
I'm not sure if people really, really get the deal here. I'm going to play it one more time for you guys.
I chose Ripple. I had a lot of options, but I chose them because they have a functional role. So they facilitate cross-border payments. It's one of their functions with XRP. So it's not just some floating.
So you get this is the former Treasury, right? I should try creating these bills. Her name is on the bill, and she's telling the world that she chose Ripple and the work to be on the board at Ripple over all the other options that she had at that time. And they have a functioning role for facilitating, listen to that, they have a functioning role for facilitating cross-border payments using the digital, she says it, using the digital asset XRP. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. When you talk to all of these people out here, it doesn't matter if it's the Treasury, if it's the Fed, if it's the WEF, if it's the World Bank, if it's the IMF, you say cryptos or digital assets, it's all they hear is wah, 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 wah. But when you say cross-border payments, then all of a sudden, using digital assets, their ears perk up. They sit up in their seat and they pay attention. And the fact of the matter is she chose Ripple because she says in her thing here, I'm going to let you listen to her famous statement.
Asset out there. They actually have a purpose, right? And so it was the right choice for me. Someone else might have some.
So I'm in the
choice.
XRP army.
Okay,
just to let you know,
excellent.
I'm a firm believer of the utility component.
Excellent.
And hopefully this thing going on right now, the SEC will go away soon.
I think what President Biden's executive order that he announced in March to have this kind of reconnaissance of digital assets for this calendar year is an important one. It may not get to very specific recommendations, but I think the best you're going to hope for, at least today, is at least a path forward.
Sure.
How do you start these conversations? How do you, one of my favorite phrases that you'll hear me quote all the time is the train's already left the station.
The train has already left the station. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's a new framework is coming, whether it be a reset in the bottom line to whether it's a reset or whatever they decide to do. Liquidity crisis is a deal. We've said it on this channel 1,000 times. Liquidity crisis is a challenge. And there's one company with the solution, whether it be the $155 trillion in cross-border payments, it matters not. Ripple and its digital asset, XRP. Ripple, the company, with their products, if they use the digital asset XRP, the XRP ledger is open, free, open software, right? Decentralized software. Anyone can get on the ledger and take advantage of what it has to offer. She chose Ripple because of what they're doing with their product, ODL, for facilitating cross-border payments with utilizing the asset XRP. And if she knows that, people in her circles know that. She didn't just wake up one morning and decide to head on over on a hunch, suspecting. Which means the Fed knows, which means other central bankers know, which means the IMF knows, which means the G20 and G7 know, the WEF, they all know, the BIS, they all know the clear winner. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit the like button. Most importantly, please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the hangout. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you know when we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it.